Hi, I'm Snow from Team 4 Lemurs, and we have built OpenHuman. This is where you hire AI co-workers for your team. They live with your team, handle all the grunt work 24/7. Typically, such AI agents don't build a context, they don't adapt with you. OpenHuman overcomes this problem with the power of Cognee's memory layer. So these AI co-workers, they remember everything you want them to, and they even build connections over time. Here's the team. We have experts for practically every domain. For instance, if you hire the support coworker, she can respond to queries on your Discord support channel or respond to emails. And because she remembers your company's policy and past incidents, she can take up most of such issues. Onboarding them is pretty easy process. You just feed them what you want them to know, and you invite them to your Slack or Discord or whatever you use and give them their duties. That's it. And they get to work. Each of them has their own set of responsibilities and tools to help them carry out their job. For example, for the engineer co-worker, you can connect them to your GitHub or Vercel or practically any development tool you use, and they can help you with them to answer something like, did that bug get fixed, or to raise a PR. And because they have their own independent memories and they can collaborate with them, they practically act like your team. So this is the overall architecture of our project. The dashboard where you monitor and control most of the things like agents, memory system, and MCP servers. The memory layer powered by Cognee's open source system. Every AI co-worker that you hire has its own specific memory, its own data set that only it can write into. But they all can read the company-wide database. The agents or AI co-workers, as we call them, they interact with you via Slack or Discord or even ClickUp. And they all use various MCP tools to actually do their work. We have Notion, GitHub, Vercel, and many more. Depending on what type of work that AI coworker has, you can choose any of them and make your own combinations. So this is where we manage our AI coworkers. Alison and Marcus have been on board for quite some time. Let's take a look at the HR specialist. It's connected to Slack and is active and has the duty of answering employee HR questions using company policies and past conversations already in its memory and escalating requests that require human approval. And Marcus, the sales representative, is also connected and has the Gamma presentation MCP for creating pitch decks that are required in sales. Let's onboard the customer support co-worker, Alex. We just need to give the duty to track any updates in company policy and help the co-workers with them. And then we just add what it needs to know to start working. It can be the company, it can be the company policies, handbooks, documentation. And it's not limited to a particular file type. You can upload PDFs, Words, Excels, even Markdowns, or in fact, even website URLs, because Cognee inherently supports all of these file types out of the box. And now we just connect to the Slack channel. And add it to the workspace, and that's it. Now it's live, a part of our team. Now Alex is also a part of our team. If I want any of my AI coworkers to remember or forget something, I can just drop them a text. Like if I want to update some particular thing in the Alex, remember that from now we don't sell IT companies. Now in the backend, my mess will trigger Cognee methods like dot remember, dot forget. So these update the memories of that specific coworker that I'm tagging. And besides explicitly telling them to remember something, we can also use reactions. Like if I react thumbs up to this particular message, Then use Cognee's improve function to reinforce the idea that this particular piece of information is extra important. So it gets highlighted in the graph. And if I react thumbs down, then it gets either dropped or it's marked of less importance. Now, if I want to apply for a leave, Alison is the HR employee, so I'll ask her. I want to apply my leave on 6th by 2026. Oops. Now, inside her brain, inside her memory, Alison knows the company's leave policy and as well as my attendance record. So she uses both of them to come up with a decision and take actions based on that. Here's Alison's reply. So because I've already reached my PTO status, I've used my annual cap has reached. I've used both of my paid leaves already. This has been escalated to a human supervisor. In such cases that Alison cannot handle herself, she escalates these messages to a supervisor. If another one of my teammates asks for a leave instead of me, and it's not just limited to answering questions with the memory, they can even take actions. Like if I ask Marcus, the salesperson, uh, to create a pitch deck using yesterday's meeting transcripts. Marcus already knows what happened in yesterday's meeting because he remembers the transcripts. So he can extract features and discussions we had using that and create a pitch deck from it. So our pitch deck is ready. Marcus extracted the meeting product planning meetings transcripts, which had 4 of us as participants, and it's a 11 slide deck. This is what happens when memory meets actual action because of the MCP tools that they're using. And in a company setting like this, such AI co-workers can be a great asset. And this is the memory behind the scenes. To keep all employees transparent about what they know, what they have learned, and what connections they have made between documents, concepts, and even entities, we can check out this knowledge graph, interactive knowledge graph on each employee's detail page, which is provided by Cognee. This is Alison's graph. And in her memory, we can see what connections she has built between different concepts. If you want to look for a particular note, like if I want to know what she knows about the leave policy, I can just search for it and check out the connections myself. And the best part is that in the memory, you can see previous versions of it, like at what specific time she built some specific connections. So you can backtrack it. And this is how the memory gets built over time. In fixed durations, all the chat messages get ingested, and there's a small model which judges which of those messages to send to the specific employees. Those employees ingest the data in their own personal data sets, and if it triggers a task, then they execute it. As for the rest of the messages, the globally important ones get saved in the company dataset, and the rest of the trash gets discarded. And behind the brains of these AI coworkers is Cognee's memory layer. Every time you create an organization, you create an isolated company database, and inside it is the company's common dataset. And each time you onboard an employee, they get their own dataset as well. So employees can write only in their own memories, but they can read all of these datasets only when it's needed. For example, if you ask, hey Alex, can you create a pitch deck from last night's meeting? Emily has the transcripts. Then Alex will be able to access Emily's dataset because the read permission is there, but only needs to be triggered by a particular command. This keeps responsibilities separate while still letting everyone share company context. So that was OpenHuman. You hire actual AI coworkers that adapt to your company's needs instead of chatbots. They live wherever your team already works. They remember your company's history and actually make connections between your conversations and documents. And they don't just answer questions, they can actually get work done. Thank you for watching.